The story that's been developing in the country's courts, the 8 men accused of beating and killing 2 farm dwellers at Bampoen farm in Mkhondo, Mpumalanga, they're back in court this morning to continue with their bail application. The state and defense lawyers are expected to present their arguments in court on that bail application. Newsroom Africa's Masilela has been following that story for us. He joins us now live from Mkhondo. Mweli, quite a long day in court yesterday. Unpack for us what happened.
Yes, indeed, Michelle, it was quite a long day in court yesterday. We had both the state and the defense stating their case in terms of the accused being granted bail. But 2 key aspects that transpired in court yesterday. We know that the defense made an application to have access to the docket, the police docket, and the magistrate had to make a ruling in terms of that particular application. What happened then in court is that the magistrate, Mkhondo, did make that ruling in favor of the state because the defense was arguing that they do want to have access to that docket so that they can at least have an idea in terms of the statements, the written statements that were made by some of the witnesses. But the magistrate there saying that access to that particular docket will prejudice the state in as far as this case is concerned. And we know that from the side of the state prosecutor, he did mention that if the defense is given access to that particular docket, there are some statements there that have got the address of one of the key witnesses, which is the surviving victim in this particular case. And also there are some contact numbers of that surviving victim there. So the state prosecutor saying that if those statements are availed to the defense, some of the accused maybe might send some people to interfere with the investigation. We know also that there was also a ruling in terms of obtaining the records or the cause of death in terms of the 2 people that died in that particular incident. Also in that ruling, in that particular application, Michelle, the magistrate ruled to say that, well, the defense can have access to those documents, but they can't be given to them. They will have to peruse those documents in the presence of the state prosecutor. And then coming to today, Michelle, as you put it in your intro, we're expecting both parties, that is the state and the defense, to put forward their arguments today. And the defense has been maintaining that these accused should be granted bail because, number 1, they are not a flight risk, and number 2, these accused do not have any previous convictions. But in a turn of events yesterday, Michelle, the state prosecutor presented some evidence reflecting or showing that some of the accused, in fact 3, have got some previous convictions, and it appeared that those previous convictions, according to the defense, are not very serious, because you find that in terms of accused number 1, he was once found guilty in a case of drunken driving, and also accused number 2, it was a case of speeding. And then accused number 3, it was a case of damage to public property. So we're going to hear more from court today in terms of the arguments, how the defense is going to advance its case in terms of ensuring that the accused get bail. But we know that from the side of the state, they have been maintaining that the accused shouldn't be granted bail, especially because there are chances that they might interfere with the investigation, Michelle.
Do you reckon we'll see a decision today, Mweli?
I doubt we'll have the decision made today, Michelle. Chances are that the decision, we might have it next week, looking into the fact that also the court has been interrupted on a number of occasions because of the issue of load shedding. And we know that there isn't enough courtrooms here in Piet Retief, so there's quite a number of cases that are being dealt with. In fact, in some cases we had to move from one courtroom to another, but it will depend in terms of the arguments as to how far both sides go in this case in terms of presenting those arguments, Michelle. But I can tell you chances are very slim that we'll have that judgment today.